it all out. Next comedian is transplant. That's the word. Comes out of Brooklyn to LA, now down here to the Villainous Lair, Mr. Flobo Boyce!
I got booed? I said woo. I'm wearing a dress, good sir. I'll scrap for one, too. Give yourself a round of applause for the host right this evening. You're making it look good, man. Man, if you were like 2 years younger than a chick, I would totally.
Hey, you know what? There's still alcohol at the bar.
That is true, and a lot of them are ready to go, so if you're on the way out, you should do something. So I'm so glad to be here, man. Dress for Breasts is a really good event. Thank you for inviting me, Roland. He was like, hey, man, I'm doing this fundraiser. I'm like, I'm there. You got to put on a skirt. I'm like, what? Okay, well, I guess. I was like you, sir. I was like, all right, well, I guess I posted, you know. I remember going to the store. That was a fun thing. I'm like looking in the women's aisles because apparently I'm plus size, right? They didn't tell me that. I was like, no, I already hurt. My feelings are already hurt, you know? And then I came across this skirt, and it was like, it flattens your tummy and raises your buttocks. And I was like, that's the most stupidest. Oh, I see. You ever been in the mirror like, hey girl, you got a man? Oh wait, that's me. You know? People checking me out. I'm like, hey man, not a piece of meat for you to gawk at, you know? About a year ago, there was this video, I'm not sure if you saw it, there was this lady that was walking around my hometown in New York, and guys were catcalling her, like, hey girl, what's up, you guys see that? Yeah. That is messed up, and now I get it, you know? Like, it's just, men is way too forward. Like, I've been dating my girl for 2.5 years, and even then I'm like, hey girl, you want some sex? I mean, I don't want to pressure you. I mean, you let me know, you text me when you're ready, and I'll send you an application, get it notarized, and maybe we can try to do something. Hey, it's up to you. Came down from Los Angeles. I got a new job. I deliver groceries. That's right. On the website. Yeah, delivering groceries. Yeah. The idea is that if you order online, I'm supposed to bring your groceries to your house in 30 minutes. You can imagine it being 1,000 degrees today. I worked a lot, man. I was like in the cotton fields. I was sweating so much. Like, oh Lord, here's your Coors Light. Can I have one? Okay, master. All right. A friend of mine told me a while back that black people don't tip. And I was like, that's uncalled for. That's not true at all, but I tell you something, it's absolutely true. I rolled up to a house and had my hands just full of bottles of water and eggs, right, to make it more difficult. I'm like, here you go, homeboy. And he's like, you want a tip, right? I got some Cheetos here for you. I'm like, I work at a grocery store. I have my own Cheetos, man. Like, that's already in the break room, you know what I'm saying? Digital Elizabeth Zoom, how you doing, man? You good?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm actually jealous of your musical talent and your hair. So it's kind of two things I wish I had at once, you know? And give me a round of applause. We're gonna happen all night.
I can't draw like you, though.
I can't draw either. I paid someone to do that. I write. That's what I do. Talking about Silver Streak, my comic book. Cheap plug.
Silver Streak!
Silver Streak! Hashtag Eli lives, you know? I'm glad we're all here tonight because together with your contributions, we're going to eradicate cancer, right? Am I right, guys? Give us a round of applause. Yeah. And we're going to look fabulous doing it, you know? I realized this a couple of years ago, that I can't dance, which is another stereotype. I wouldn't tell you it's not true. Because everyone looks at me like, oh man, you could tell, you're Caribbean, you could dance. I'm like, no, man, no, not at all. I can imagine me and my girlfriend, like, it's like this thing where it's like a deal. We have this legislative deal. We sat down. I was at a wedding a couple months ago. She's like, hey, babe, let's go out for a dance. I'm like, look, we promised 2 dances a year. Do you want to cash one of those dances in now, okay? Because 2 songs counts as 2 dances, and I can't do it. She's like, you're worse than a fucking stripper. Like, come on, just dance with me. I'm like, well, okay, I do 3 dances tonight. Will that count for next year, too? It's really bad, man, because I'm the kind of guy that goes on the stage, I'm like doing that's it, my 2-step, that's all I got. I got the little, that's it, that's all I got. There's some guys out there that it doesn't matter what's playing. It'd be Taylor Swift's EDM dance remix, and he's all like, ain't nothing but a gangster party. You know, like, it doesn't matter. What I do hate, those guys who you get dragged on the floor like, oh baby, I can't. And as soon as the beat drops, it's living la vida loca. You're like, hey, you're making us all look bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl's like, yeah, he's a better dancer. He's probably a better lover too. Shit, man. You might be going with him. I'm at the bar, what happened? I can dance, I'm sorry. I realized that I'm also not coordinated. I was a fat kid growing up. So the time I was in high school, I was 5'9", 280 pounds. And I joined my football team because I really wanted to be a running back. And my coach was like, get on the line. And I realized this is the most boring job ever because when you're that big, your job is to stand there and just be a wall. You know, the ball's going around you, people are getting hit, people are cheering, you're just doing this. Cut my check, you know, so just doing this all day. But I realized that when I became my mid-20s, I was like, no, I'm gonna be athletic. I'm gonna start running more, start eating right. And my job at the time had an intramural softball league. And I was like, oh man, here is my chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come back, throw big tail side, wow. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Softballs aren't. After coming home with like bruises and stuff, I was like, yo, what happened to you? You play paintball? I was like, nah, man, I was third base. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the worst things ever. I tried ice skating. My groin still pulled because of that. Tried snowboarding. One time I got caught in the lift. That was always fun. And once I got out the lift, I was going to go like skate, so snowboard down because I had this vision of being Shaun White or playing SSX, right? I'm going down this mountain and I'm like, I'm the man. But they don't tell you when you snowboard that you have to know how to stop before you go on the mountain. And I felt like I was a Disney cartoon. I was like screaming like Goofy. I was like, you know what I mean? Like it was really bad. This giant cloud of snow and snowboard parts belonged to me. You know? So you guys heard about this guy. He's running for president. His name's Donald Trump, right? You know, he's the guy you're running for. I think he's the next president. No, I'm just kidding. I realized this a while ago that if Donald Trump were a comic book character, he would be Batman, right? He's a rich one percenter that decides to make Gotham great all over again. I mean, would you read a Donald Trump comic? I wouldn't, but that's that dude. Can you imagine him trying to fit in the cowl with his hairpiece? Like, flying over rooftops, like, hey, Joker, you're fired. It's kind of weird, you know? I don't want to. We need him, man. It's the hero we deserve. That's my favorite superhero is Green Lantern because it's a superhero that runs on willpower. And if you're a guy, you can drink a 12-pack and eat a pack of zebra cakes in one sitting. Willpower is what you need, right? I keep a lantern on my desk, like, I'll just put it back. You win this round, hell, Jordan, dude. I love you guys get that joke. That's awesome. I did that joke in Hollywood. You're like, what the hell is that? But I'm glad at a comic book shop, y'all got that. Maybe if you're warm and fuzzy inside. Get back to the Flash jokes. Oh man. So I realized one of my goals in life is to be a millionaire. Like I want to be rich. I want to be famous. But I had this student loan debt thing. You know what I mean? Because 8 years ago, I came to California with a stupid idea of going to college. You know, I just want to better myself. I realize it's a bad example. I would probably go to high schools now and tell kids to drop out while they're still ahead. But Sally Mae calls me every month like she's my pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Flobo, you don't lighten this month's cut. I mean, you want a new house or what? You know, sorry, Sally, times is hard. You know how it is. And you want good credit, bitch? I'm so sorry, Sally Mae. I'll be good. It's funny because it would just ruin your entire plans, man. Like, I had this thing with the IRS where I owe them money, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny how a letter from them can ruin your weekend. I'll be talking to my friends on the phone like, oh man, Vegas is gonna be crazy. We better get toned up. Let me go check my mail. How about next month? You know, like, the funny thing is that like the IRS is the only government agency they won't get rid of because frankly, it's the only one we're afraid of. I kid you not, right now in my apartment, there's a letter that says, Mr. Boyce, if you don't report to jury duty next week, we're gonna put you in jail. And I'm like, I ain't got time for that. Mr. Come find me, you know, I'm way important here. You know. But the IRS is like, oh shit, you know. It's weird how that works, totally weird how that works. Anyone here watch soccer? Anyone watch the game today at all? This is one guy, the drunk guy in the front? Okay, yeah, you all right? All right, fuck that joke. All right, you guys watch baseball? Anyone like baseball? Nah, two, I fucked that joke too. All right, next one. Yeah, you like basketball. Anyone like basketball? You don't like sports at all. All right, fuck all that joke. All right, we'll do something else. We'll do something, we're gonna have some fun. My favorite food of all time is Vietnamese food. And the reason was I was a heavier guy. I was about 375. and I wanted to start losing weight. And I went to Vietnamese restaurants because I ain't never seen a fat Vietnamese person before. So there's this thing called pho, which is fucking delicious, but it's a bowl of... Yo, right, calm down, son. It's just soup. I don't know why. I tell you, you know, they're like super cheap too, right? Oh Lord. So I would go like 4 times a week, and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, how'd you get into this?" I'm like, "Oh, my friend from Arkansas." Like, whoa, hold on. Your friend from Arkansas told you about that? We don't believe it. And it hit me like people are just snobs about food without even realizing it. I was at a party one time, and please don't be disgusted. I was getting a hot dog, because I love hot dogs. I was getting a hot dog, and I put ketchup, and I put relish on it.
Ew.
Yeah, see? And all of a sudden it was like, oh! I didn't know where it came from. It was like, God, is that you? This guy in the corner like, hey, I'm from Chicago. That's not how you do a hot dog. You put mustard on it. It's like, yo, you want mine? It's cool. You can just wipe it off and start over. Like, it's not that big of it. It's more where that came from, you know? You were just food snobs. Like, I had this thing about hamburgers. Like, I won't pay more than $15 for a burger, you know? I went to a hotel. Someone was like, oh, our pub burger's $20. I'm like, can I have half of that shit? With some fries on the side. Oh, man. So, I'm originally from New York. My parents are Caribbean. That's cool, man. That's great. It's on a map, too. It doesn't move anywhere. My parents are from Barbados, which is kind of cool now because people know where it is. When I was a kid, no one knew it. It's like, yeah, man, that's like Jamaica. No, not even close. But now with Rihanna, it's easy. I'm not related to Rihanna, but I do pretend to be her cousin to get into parties. I was in Vegas. I was at the Marquee Club, which you shouldn't go to because they're so pretentious as hell. I was on the line. I'm trying to get in. Guys like, I can't let you in. You can't let you in. I'm like, yo, come on, my cousin Rihanna's in there. You gotta let me in. He's like, you Rihanna's cousin? I'm like, yeah, can't you tell? He's like, you got any proof? I was like, we got the same forehead. He's like, oh, put it away. Come on. Come on. It's like a 5-head. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is freaking weird. But culturally, it's a little different, you know, because my parents, they speak English, but it's British English. So some things don't really translate. You know what I'm saying? Like one time, I was 7 years old, and I'm on a sugar high. I'm going to town. There's a box of cookies. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. You leave kids alone with cookies and pixie sticks. They're gone. That's what happens. Mom comes over. She's like, hey, bye. You ain't give me none of your biscuit? I'm sorry, Mom, what? I said, hey, bye. You ain't give me none of your biscuit? I was like, Mom, I'm having an Oreo. Would you like an Oreo? I mean, it's double stuff. You can share. It's cool, you know. Whoa, falling off the stage. And I'm not the drunk one. It's funny. I wish I learned Spanish. Anyone here speak Spanish? San Diego, really? All right, we got one. All right, cool. I kind of wish I liked Spanish because Spanish is very sexy. It's very expressive. It's a beautiful language. Like I say in English, my name is a Flobo. You're like, what the fuck is a Flobo? Is that like a disease? But in Spanish, you're gonna be like, hola, no eres. Soy Flobito. It's sexy as hell. Like, hey, in English, I'm a cab driver, but in Spanish, I'm un taxista. It's glorious. You know what I'm saying? I like watching telenovelas for that reason because you can tell what's going on. It was like a couple's breaking up, but it's always like, Fernando, how could you? Like, wait, is that Spanglish or English? Who cares? It's amazing, you know? Well, that Jane the Virgin or La Famous Belle, you know? Anyway, enjoy this. I like being a comedian. It's one of the best things in my life. I get to share my experiences and stories with you, so thank you for that. But I realize there's certain perks that only a comedian can get away with. You know what I mean? Like, when you're a comic at a party, it's always like, tell a joke, make me laugh. Or like, if you're an accountant, no one ever says that. Do my taxes. Like, no one ever does that shit. But I also love is that you can just end the show and be like, yo, that's my time. It's like no other job in the world can do that. Like, a doctor can't do that shit. Like, Mr. Boyce, seems here you have leprosy. You're going to die in 3 weeks. But, yo, tip your nurses. Goodbye. Thank you very much. I agree. Everybody, Flobo Boyce.